Konnichiwa, boys.
Yeah, it's actually.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
love it.
Well done.
I had sushi on Saturday night as a homage to Daijiro Kato and his son.
What a
Yeah,
dream
nice.
that was in the end with Grassini getting the win.
Yeah, crazy.
Welcome. Episode, what are we? 81.
81, as we just
Wow.
discussed.
Motorsport Republica podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. And
Our last podcast before we get down to
How
the
good's
island.
this?
Yeah, this is a magical time of the year. Magical.
Really is.
I can't think of a better time.
It's the best time.
And I was saying this to you the other day, James. You're down at Phillip Island for the MotoGP. You'd rather be nowhere else in the world.
No, absolutely
Like
not.
you could say, oh, I want to be anywhere in the world. It's that weekend.
You got to be in cows.
Got to be in cows. Like it's just it's spectacular. And anyone who's sort of on the brink of thinking about going down, just do it.
You got to do it.
Absolutely.
As long as it's not 100-kilometer winds and
It pisses down
No,
rain
we don't
Saturdays.
tell them about that.
touch
thing,
wood, touch wood.
It's only been
wood.
like that for the past 10 years.
I know. We're due for some good weather. I'm happy with 18 like cloudy. That's fine. 18 cloudy,
As
I'll
long as
take.
there's no rain.
As long as there's no rain, it's not too windy. You remember that
Last year was horrendous. The year
Yeah.
before we couldn't park the car. Remember we
last
had-
year was the worst I've ever seen it though.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And then
was wild.
it got cancelled the year 2 years before that. So
Yeah, I wonder why.
yeah, Chinese. We are due for some good weather. We're gonna have a good weekend regardless, boys. And
We're down from Monday to Monday.
yeah.
That's how passionate and keen we are.
So
Teeing up some pods.
We're gonna have a pre-race show next week. We're gonna talk more about Phillip Island and
That's gonna be big.
what it means to us and all
That's
that kind of
gonna
stuff.
be big. That's gonna be huge.
So very
Huge.
excited.
I'm so excited. Fuck.
Motor Heaven, Jimmy.
Motor heaven. Get
I heard
around it,
there's a
boys.
little secret deal maybe happening soon.
Yeah, so
or-
keep out your eye on your socials. It should be just about up or will be up by the time this is released. But Moto Heaven are doing a giveaway. So head to their Instagram page and you'll see what they're giving away. It is a helmet. That's all I'm going to say.
Cool.
And all you got to do is probably just, share the post or like the post, tag a couple of friends and you can win a helmet.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. And also Patreon as well. Guys, get involved. Patreon, we've got a few special episodes up. We also launch our special guest episodes before they hit YouTube. So any support is awesome.
Plus the discounts, it pays for itself.
20% off all merch and 20% off all accessories and stuff as
and
well.
we got guests coming up as well for MotoGP weekend.
Oh,
So
Early access.
Early access. So we've got Curtis working overtime to get them up as soon as possible.
he hasn't slept in 3 days.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
I got my own sweatshop.
You left out a word there,
Yeah,
Daniel.
no, I can't remember the word.
Tom said it a few times.
On the Patreon.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear it
good segue.
uncut, listen to the Patreon. And then, of course, Daniel, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever it is, guys. We're growing. We want you to grow with us. So, any love, any support, we always appreciate it. Gets us out there and more content for you guys ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's fun.
The more we do, the more you see.
Well said. Boys, Japan, what do we think?
Yeah, not bad, to be honest. I think overall good. I think if we're basing it just off the MotoGP result, it was a bit boring, to be
It was
honest.
a stinker, really.
Yeah, it
Bit
was
of a
really-
snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, I didn't feel that. And then after the race, I go, geez, not much happened.
No, I was thinking that halfway through. As soon as Pedro crashed, I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck.
But there was always that chance of rain where it sort of keeps you on the edge to a certain extent as
Yeah.
well, which I was waiting for. But yeah, it was an interesting couple of races. He's slowly clawing back, Bagnaia.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
He's just... I was watching qualifying and he was nowhere almost the whole weekend and he just pulls a lap onto the front row. Like, it's incredible. It is he's just so clutch, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And 8 wins. Joins
Yep.
a pretty illustrious club.
Yep.
8 wins
Yeah.
in a season.
Yep.
So, congratulations to him on that as well.
You know what
Pretty
doesn't
wild.
make sense to me is I was looking and shout out to the Japanese fans. I actually think the Japanese fans are the best fans in the
I
world.
was going to say
They're
that.
so knowledgeable. That's the other thing.
They are knowledgeable,
knowledgeable.
big brains. But they bring the gifts. They
Yeah.
stick out in the weather. Like they love it. They love it. They're all about the riders. But it's so funny. It's so weird seeing like a Japanese fan. It's like all Ducati'd up.
Yes.
It's like being Australian and then like going for the America and the Olympics. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Did you see the two Asian dudes in the full graffiti?
Yeah,
one
how
piece?
good is that?
cool.
How'd you get that?
I know.
You
How
have to
cool
make
is
that, sure.
AliExpress, I think.
Yeah.
But bro, they did a good job.
Yeah, it looked
They had the
awesome.
Alps like sliders and everything on
It looked
it.
awesome. It looked really good. They're awesome fans.
They're the best fans. It'd be a really, really, really good event to go to.
I've heard it's amazing. I had a family
Yeah.
friend that went and loved it.
I didn't realize they've been going there since 04. It's been a long time at Motegi, so it's
20 years.
Yeah, after Suzuka,
It's
after
a-
Kato.
Yeah, so it's a really, I really like the track. I really, really do. It's very stop-starty.
It's underrated.
Yeah, very underrated. And I remember playing the MotoGP game, which stay in tune. We might have something special for that
Yeah.
in the coming days. It is an awesome track. More of an F1 style of track, as we spoke about last week. It's a lot of stop starts, but some really good flowing sections in the middle sector.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it.
Daniel doesn't agree.
Yeah,
That's
right.
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't love it. It's neither here nor there. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, wow, what a track.
Yeah, right.
That on the game, and I'm sure it's like this in real life, that last sector, the chicane, you
Yes.
can make so much time there. And you can
Yeah.
see that in qualifying,
Yeah.
getting that
Getting it
last,
right. Yeah.
that last chicane right, because obviously it's very tricky.
Yeah, they changed the direction.
Yeah.
And it's an unusual sort of style of corner at MotoGP.
Do you remember when Casey Stoner ran wide at the end of the back straight?
I do.
And he lost his brakes. And he had to repump his brakes going into because it was so bumpy. Like, how crazy is that? And
What's
then
with
they have the nerve to then do that is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's with the
quick
corner
thinking.
names? They've got unusual corner names.
Don't they have a 130R there
They
as well?
do. It's like, and they've also, the last corner's called Victory Corner.
Victory corner.
Yeah, I
love
like
though.
that. I
That's
like
awesome.
that. That's a very Japanese thing.
The back straight's called Downhill Straight.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like all just simple names. It's really interesting.
yeah. Well, they probably got less flair than the Italians and the Spanish, but
Definitely
it
less
works.
flair. Yeah.
Probably a little less racing culture.
Yeah, they got
True.
sort of cut at the heels a bit a few years ago, I suppose. So that's what happens. Go on.
But honestly, shout out to the fans. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
best.
watching it. And you see all the stuff on Instagram and stuff. They're so good. And they're so like respectful. When like David Alonso was winning, everyone's just like sitting in their seats like clapping. It was so funny.
Boys, I'm not sold on Bastianini at all. It was really disappointing for me over the weekend because he seemed like he had the pace, but he sort of muffed it at the start of the main race. Couldn't get past Binder, ran wide a couple of times, sort of panicked a little bit.
He had a good crack at Marquez in the sprint.
He did,
That
but
was great racing. That was
But-
amazing.
yeah, it was great racing. I just feel he's just missing that extra edge, I suppose.
The thing is sorry to cut you off, Daniel. Bagnaia is always just going to be there every round, where Bastianini's every like third round, and I reckon that's a difference.
Yeah, I think he came into the fold too late on, and then obviously that stack that he had the week before doesn't help at all. So if that had played out differently, I think we would have seen a different beast.
Yeah.
I think he was very frazzled and just he had one thing in his mind, and that was just to go, get to the front and do his thing with the tyres and whatnot. But yeah, it was very frustrating. It would have made for a great race for that last spot on the podium. But yeah, just trying to make moves where they weren't there, or typical wait a corner or two, or just line it up a bit better. And how many times this year have we seen when someone's tried to make a move in the wrong spot, i.e. Pecco and Alex? So it goes down to the hole. So
Yeah.
I think that's where Bastianini's at.
What's our results?
Sprint race results. Pecco Bagnaia, Enea Bastianini and Marc Marquez were your top three. Jorge Martin, Franco Morbidelli, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Alex Marquez, Jack Miller, Maverick Vinales and Marco Bezzecchi round out the top 10. Bez messing it up for everyone. Could have, chucked it in 8th and would have been a Ducati lockout.
True.
1 through 8.
True.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get the opportunity to do that again.
Ducati lockout in Japan. How ironic that would have been.
Oh, yeah.
How crazy. Main race, Pecco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez were your top three. Enea Bastianini, Franco Morbidelli, Brad Binder, Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Aleix Espargaro and Jack Miller. Top 10.
I'm going to say it now. Our sexy heaven dick of the week. Tom, give it a lick.
It's been used, bro. Come on.
Yeah, come on, bro. Sorry. I got the brown off it. Our sexy heaven dick of the week has to be Pedro Acosta.
Yeah, it does.
What could have been?
What could have been? He was clearly the
He would have won.
fastest.
He would have won the sprint
Yeah.
I think, comfortably, and who knows what could have happened in the main race.
Yeah, 100%, you know, but I think that just comes down to lack of experience at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, probably just too much in his mind, like, oh, I'm in this great position and I can win, I want to win. And
I think he wanted to break him as well.
yeah, and I think he's not quite there yet.
It was funny. It was an ultimate commentator's curse because 2 corners before, what's his name, Steve Day, whatever his name is like, you know, he hasn't put a foot wrong, bang, loses the front end. But I was just thinking, I was writing in my notes and like it's still valid. He's the only one doing anything on that bike to be breaking Bagnaia.
I know.
On that KTM and making it.
Yeah, Binder and Miller showed a fight in the main race, but they just went backwards.
Binder was up
Miller.
there. He was 4th at the sprint, but then had a mechanical. But who knows what he would have been like 6 laps time.
But that just shows maybe do you see the rear shatter on their going down that downhill back straight? Like, and that's what obviously Miller's been complaining about all year. Is just he just cannot get the rear set. So
yeah, I think he's got more of a problem than that though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Well, Pedro Acosta's riding around everything.
That's exactly right. I think Miller was up in the top 3 or 4 in the main race,
4th,
and then next thing I looked down and he was almost out of the 10. I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. It's stock standard though, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder, we are proudly supported by the great team down at Moto Heaven. They are absolutely unbelievable to deal with. And if I were you guys, I'd definitely head over to their website.
Yes, you never pay full recommended retail price at Moto Heaven, and free delivery for any order over $100.
100%. And they've got the best, most usable website in the whole motorcycle industry. Dare I say the world. They got parts finders. You can chuck in any bike you want. If it's a gold KX250 or an R1, you can find anything you want. Helmets, they got everything. Head to motoheaven.com.au where you will get everything that you need. That's a guarantee.
Do it.
Talking about falling off, but we still get flack for this. I put up an innocent meme about Maverick Vinales. The dude was on the front row. He was 11th by his second corner. The same thing, sprint and the main race. Even Morbidelli was beating him up. He can't even beat himself up.
He couldn't get the
Morbidelli.
front ride height and the sprint off at the start, but there was no excuse in the main straight main race. But
people still defending him. It's the craziest
thing I've ever seen. Did you see the odd board? He just ride and they just go. Just give it straight.
But even
I'm like, what are you doing?
Even if his ride height disengaged, it would have been the same anyway. It's typical Maverick fashion.
It showed that in the main race.
Can't deal with a full tank.
But it's true, but it's been 7 years, Daniel. And the people are still defending it.
We still love him, but
I love him. He's going to punch me in the face.
Stockholm syndrome, mate.
That's what it is.
Arranged.
It is. But he's got to sort that out, and they're going to fix that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How can it happen every race weekend?
I know. You've been fucking gymmed. You haven't been shaved. But
You've been gymmed mowing.
But he's the ultimate fraud. He really is. And like, you wouldn't dare put him in your top 5.
Oh, maybe Philip Island, give him a crack. He's pretty good there.
He is good there.
Yeah, but remember when he almost won and he crashed at Lukey on the last lap?
Yeah, that's right.
On the Yamaha.
Shout out to Zarko as well, being the top Japanese. You wouldn't have picked that at the start of the weekend, so really good.
What about when he took out Nakagami in the sprint race? But
top Japanese and also punting the Japanese.
Yeah, it's that was an unusual sort of. That was the first corner.
That's not a Zarko move either. You don't ever see that.
He was looking right through the corner. I don't even think he saw him, but it was a pretty rough thing that happened to poor
I think it
old
was
Taka.
Taka's fault anyway.
Shouldn't
have been there.
I mean, he would have done anything anyways. Taka was sitting there all cranky. I'm like, bro, you would have finished 17th. Who gives a fuck? Seriously, get out of the way.
Where did he finish in the main race, Daniel? Was it 14th?
Taka,
yeah.
13th. So just missed out on a point, I think.
No, main race.
No, main races. You get points to 15.
Yeah,
15. Yeah. So 13. Oh, it wouldn't have been that hard. There was only 17 riders.
And you had Remy Gardner.
Floating around.
Did Salvadori finish? I think he pitted the first lap.
He had a mechanical.
Aprilia, what's going on with Aprilia?
Who else had a mechanical as well? Someone else had a mechanical. It's unusual.
Binder.
Yeah, for a sprint race, yeah.
But Aprilia's in shambles.
I know. There's some great hot takes coming up later in the show as well. Like, there's some real hate for Aprilia and some real, scare. Like, if it could be Martin's last chance this year, it really could. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, well, I think we touched on it not too long ago.
We're going to know next year if it's the riders or the bike.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see Bezzecchi and Martin go on this bike because you're going to have two capable
Capable
riders.
guys.
I think Aprilia, and you guys probably know more than me, but Aprilia lost their chief technical director to HRC over the weekend. So that's another thing. Like obviously HRC doing their best to build a better bike, but that could hurt Aprilia as well. We don't know.
Shout out to Adrian from Motor Heaven. He comes up to me today and he's like, "Oh, it sounds like Honda's been listening to Make Honda Great Again because they're doing all your points." I'm like, "Well, you know."
Well, they got to less Japanese. They grabbed an Italian or Spanish or same thing.
Same.
But yeah, you're right. Like exactly that 10-point plan. I reckon they got it up at their walls of the office,
100%.
and they're just ticking them off one by one.
We're not here talking shit,
Mick
guys.
Dillon will be getting a call soon.
Yeah.
We're stating facts.
Though we are, and I reckon they're going to move their stupid headquarters to Italy or Spain or something soon as well. Seriously,
Got to do something.
It's like the F1's, the Alpine team, which is Renault, are stopping their own engines by 2026. They're going to get a customer engine. So like that's probably something that Honda should do, you know.
Well, they tried Kalex chassis and swing arms and
oh goodness, it's who knows? But anyway, they're trying. That's the main thing. They're trying.
Yeah.
They're getting personnel from other teams. That's what you have to do.
They're trying to do the right
they,
stuff.
They're getting what's his name, the old Suzuki technician. He's going down. He's getting down to the test team. You know that guy with the frowny face.
I know of him. I saw him, I suppose, but
Kibichi or something
Kabichi
like that.
Nakajami.
Yeah. Anyway, he's gone. So.
But yeah, it was an interesting weekend. I think it's really boiling up, and I think Phillip Island is. Well, it has to be. It's going to be an amazing race.
It's always a wacky result.
Yeah, that's going to be such a
straight.
tough one to pick.
This could be the race. Phillip Island could be the race, and we'll obviously do a big deep dive on it. But it could be the race where, this championship really could swing.
Yeah.
And we've seen that when it was Pecco and Fabio.
Yeah, that's right. Because Fabio had
Crashed out of eighth, didn't he?
stinker. Didn't
Not
he?
usually a Ducati track, I'm going to say.
The last couple of years, it's been strong for them, though.
Okay.
But years before that, never really before.
No,
after
that's
Stoner.
right.
Yeah,
I remember when
they really
Sachsenring.
struggled.
I remember when Sachsenring wasn't a Ducati track, and now they win.
That's right. They win
every
everywhere.
year. So they're good everywhere.
Every track's a Ducati track.
If it's cooler conditions, it's all jokes aside, the Aprilia might actually work half
Yeah,
decent.
Maverick Vinales will be fucking 8th in the first corner bar.
I thought they were going to go better at San Marino, Aprilia, because that's a high grip, flowy track to a certain extent, but they stunk up that as well. So we'll see. 2 weeks away. I think Maverick I reckon he'll have a good race, but he's just got to start, and I think that's just his biggest issue.
No, that's his
and once
problem.
you're in the
He can't
pack now, you're stuck with that
you're
aero,
gone.
That's
You're
it.
gone.
and you
See you
saw
later.
that,
You got to get a break. And he's the kind of operator that he might actually get a decent start, but someone will barrel roll him on the inside and take him out.
Yeah.
Like it's either one way or the other for him.
You even see with Marquez, like, if someone crashes in front of him and finally passes someone, he might be doing the same pace as Bagnaia and Martin in front of him, but he's just 3 seconds back. You're never clawing it back.
We've seen that with Bastianini this weekend after he passed Binder.
Yeah.
You see it with a lot of guys. As soon as they get that clear air, it makes a world
Clear
of
air
difference.
is
And a
so
lot of people
important.
have that speed, but it's just the qualifying at Pecco is just lightning off that start.
And how's his
Traditionally.
consistency on
Yeah.
lap times?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw and I'm still a Pecco fan. I love the way he goes about it, but his start was perfection. Got to the lead on Sunday, and I think it's grace over. It really is, because he just holds that 7/10 gap, cock teases Martin the whole time.
Yeah, lets him come back and then just says, see you later.
There's no more guys. There's no more race like fighting the whole race. It can't be. Your tires just cook. You have to.
Unless they sort the aero out and Michelin needs to pull their
Did you see
finger out.
Did you see the air coming off the winglets of the KTM? That's how much downforce this thing's fucking producing.
That's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild. It's like an
photo.
airplane now. So this is back to going where Formula One was in this situation where you couldn't follow, you couldn't pass.
What years were that, Tom?
Well,
for
it's been
F1?
forever. It's always.
When
been
was
like
it the
this.
worst though? Is there any time where it's like
The worst was like Mercedes era,
Okay.
Yeah.
hybrid era. They just could not pass. Like as soon as you got behind, the tires overheated, cooked, boom, gone. And it's the same thing happening with GP, and it's really costing the racing. So, and it looks like they're trying to do something for 26, but like you look at the new R1 that's come out, Yamaha, that's got all big winglets on it.
well,
Like
everything these days?
everything's got
Everything
big
does.
winglets. So like that's the way the world's going. So they have to be still prototype bikes, as we always talk about. Superbikes is that category if you want that, but they have to just have a happy medium. So
There's got to be a happy medium because the racing is, Moto 3 and Moto 2 are better. Moto 2 is better.
I know.
That's
Moto2
saying
is,
something.
Moto2 is awesome at the moment. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's such a topsy-turvy race, which we'll touch on shortly. But Moto2 the last few rounds has been awesome.
What do you guys think of the Marquez penalty situation?
Tough. Too late. Got to make that decision quick.
Yeah.
Well, I
Even he agreed. Hitting the
Yeah.
green, he can take that, but he couldn't then just do a
Yeah, you
lap.
can't leave it till after qualifying.
That's craziness.
Yeah. So
What's to go there?
I don't know. It's
Caught
just typical
snoozing.
typical Dorner though. Like
Yeah, that's just rough.
they need to get
man.
serious. If they want to be a serious fucking
That was a stupid decision.
organization, this is
But don't they have sensors? It should come up.
Yeah, it'll get flagged. You would think it gets flagged
It doesn't.
straight away.
It doesn't. You know, when it's a last lap of a race, Binder gets flagged straight away. Why hasn't that not happened to Marquez?
Yeah, it's not right at all
It's very strange.
because that cost him what that happened. He put that lap in with 4.5 minutes to go, 5
That
minutes
was
to go.
dynamite that lap.
He could have put another one in
easily.
well and truly.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, he rolls off thinking beautiful, smash lap record. You know, under a 48 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's got to be more advanced where it comes up in your dash, corner cut, lap cancelled, and then you can go for another one because it cost him the whole weekend. He would have won that sprint race.
They can put. I'm pretty sure you can put that on their dash, but
they
that
just didn't
message
know.
needs to be relayed from race direction to the team.
And that's their whole issue.
That's the whole issue.
You know, it's black and white. You know, hitting the green. And that's fine. We don't
Yeah.
disagree with that. But it's just a time
But it's
delay.
also so hard because like it didn't. Yes, it looked like he was on the green, but like, could you really say both wheels are off on the
as soon
green?
as you
Like,
touch the paint
As
bar,
soon as
isn't
you
it?
touch paint,
yeah,
it
is
was
it?
just
So I thought it was
back
all
tyre.
wheel.
And that's the whole point of their sensors.
Yeah. And you could see it from one angle, it didn't look
Yeah.
like it all, but then they showed the other side, you could clearly see his
Yeah.
whole rear tyre just skids on that green.
That's
But
tough.
like
It's
you
tough.
said, it's just got to be more clear, it's got to be more concise
Imagine
and
if
quicker.
that costs in Valencia someone a tire, because if you finish 12th, you're not really going to win the race.
No,
So
not
imagine
these
if that
days.
happens in Valencia and it's down to Martin and Pecco. You know, it wouldn't be good, would it?
Not
No.
at all. And I think that's what's going to happen this year. Something stupid like that is going to cost one or the other a championship.
Yeah.
It's going to go down to some stupid decision, whether it's in qualifying that's going to knock someone back or in a race and demote them,
Yeah.
the positions or whatever it is. It's ridiculous.
And so tight, like just can't have this. Like it is so tight,
Yeah,
and it's
10
it
points
means so
now.
much. Like it's could be Martin's career. These next 5 weeks, it could be his career.
It's getting tense between him and Bagnaia as well. I'm loving it.
Yeah, there was a little bit going on in the cool down room.
Good.
Bring it down
Do
to
you see what
Valencia. Acosta?
Yeah, he was saying
said?
it was
So
too
good,
nice.
man.
He's like,
He's like,
I
put me in
messaged
the
you, I was
next
like,
press
this is sick.
conference.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's like,
man.
why?
He's a
If
man.
that was me, I'd be like, you're playing games and all sorts of things, like the Rossi, era, I suppose. So, and I think you have to do, like, it's so mentally.
I think
tough,
it's
isn't it?
getting a lot more tense though, especially after Montegi.
Yeah, but the same thing happened last year.
Yeah.
No,
Bro,
like, you know
Bags
what I
is-
mean?
we know we all know Bags is gonna win. Like he's just gonna fucking every weekend he'll just catch it back, and then Martin will crash, and Mike Bags will win the championship.
To be fair, Martin did good to get it 4th and 2nd. You know,
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
he,
Damage limitation
yeah,
as
ultimate.
per our power rankings.
Yeah, ultimate damage limitation. So he did pretty good.
Yeah, he was lucky that he got a great start, obviously, and not to
Yeah.
get caught up in a lot of stuff and stuck behind too many people.
Just
Obviously,
don't
he was
put
pretty
the soft
crashing out
tires
too.
on at Phillip Island this year, Martin. Fucking hell. Just put the normal, go with like everyone else.
It never normally works off except
Never.
for this weekend. I did something different this weekend, fellas. I
Tried some different things.
did. I asked AI who's going to be the next 10 world champions in MotoGP as a predictor.
I like this.
So I've got 2025 until obviously 2035, and there's some interesting results in here.
This
but
is
it's
crazy.
AI. This is
okay.
So 2025, Francesco Bagnaia.
Yep.
Wow.
4 in a row.
Yep, I'd say that. 2026, Jorge Martin on an Aprilia.
Okay. New. Oh no, still old rules.
2027, the new rules. Pedro Acosta.
Yeah.
Let's just say on a KTM. 2028, Yamaha become good. Fabio Quartararo. 2029, Bezzecchi.
On what bike does it say?
It says that he's on a VR46 bike still, but you never know of him. But 2030,
La Familia, bro.
yeah, 2030, Pedro Acosta again. 2031, Raul Fernandez.
What?
No way.
It says Fernandez currently in MotoGP and showing promise. May grow into a title contender by 2031 as he gains more experience and finds the right team. Ridiculous.
Bro, yeah, either have it or you don't.
You're
It's
ridiculous.
straight away.
Yeah.
Like,
Even AI's buddy compromised. 2032, Luca Marini. Honda come back charging.
The 10-point plan worked.
10-point plan. Yeah, 10-point plan. 2033, Fabio Di Gianantonio. As he matures in the Premier class, Digia could develop into a serious contender given the right bike and support. 2034, Pedro Acosta comes back. Acosta could dominate the early 2030s, much like Marquez in the 2010s, securing another title in 2034. 2035, Moto3 rider Ivan Atola is showing immense promise.
where's David Alonso?
No David Alonso. They put Raul Fernandez, the donkey, over David Alonso. So I thought you'd like that one, pals.
That's wild.
That's, yeah. But you know what? He has to have some promises, Raul, because they wouldn't have signed him. They wouldn't have signed him. 2-year deal.
Even when we spoke to Chris.
Fresh. 2 years they
Yeah, I
signed
know,
him
but
for.
we spoke about this with Chris, said the same thing, and he said, like, I don't get it. You know, it's a good pod, that, by the way. So
Yeah.
we should get on that.
And the Vermeulen one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense of Raul.
Wow.
He must have naked photos of Carmelo Espeleta, whatever his name is. Or something. He's got him compromised.
What's his name?
Massimo
That's
Ravioli.
yeah. James Lee took his eye out. We've said that about 8 times in
Yeah.
this pod.
True story, but
Yeah.
he dodged that umbrella like the Matrix. Then he high-fived me and said, well done, boys. Good pod. Good pod, fellas.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, but it's so hard to tell. It's all just dependent on these new regs as well to see who's going to do what and who moves where.
Yeah. The new regs is going to be where it's at.
Yeah.
And I really hope the Japanese teams can catch up and Honda listen to our plan.
Well, if we go into a weekend, and this is what Formula One's like at the moment, if we go into a weekend, we don't know which manufacturer's going to win. Like
Ultimately, that's what you want.
that's prime. That's the best you can get. And I think to a certain extent, back in the day, you had your Yamaha, your Honda, Ducati at the faster, long straight circuits.
It's always
more
normally
interesting.
been a 2-team race, though. MotoGP, I reckon.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
always kind of been Yamaha, Honda.
And look, F1's like that as well, but just
Yeah.
this year's the outlier. Like all 4
Yeah.
teams have won races, which is so unheard of.
And,
so.
you know, Honda and Yamaha have normally had the 4 best riders on the grid.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
always been the case.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. If you can get... I would just take that again, even if it was just Ducati and Honda or Ducati and Aprilia fighting
Whoever,
it out.
yeah.
You know?
You'd take it. Well, let's see if KTM can come to the table next year. They got a crop. That's for
I don't
sure.
know.
Well, exactly. But you know what? I wouldn't even complain if it was still a Ducati Cup, but the racing was good.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
It's just really just getting down to
You
it.
just want to
the
see good racing.
And there's 2 less Ducatis next year as well,
Yeah,
which will
be good.
mix things up.
You know, it's crazy. When I was a kid, all I wanted was to see Ducati win. Like, it's all I wanted. Like,
Now
it
they're winning
always
too much.
shit out. Now it's like fucking Bagna's boring and
Yeah.
Ducati's winning everything. And like,
Yeah.
you know, that 03 Marlboro Ducati is still the best looking MotoGP bike of all time.
Yeah, it'd have to be close, wouldn't it?
Daniel and I went on a tangent about it for 30 minutes, I think, on one of our Patreon
We
episodes.
That exhaust pipe was looking pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, gave it a good run.
The technical development behind it, though, Tom.
But all jokes aside, like Ducati has done the hard yards and they've put the
have.
work in. They've spent the fucking millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they deserve to be where they are.
You know what, though? When they came in 03, they won a race against all the amazing Hondas. It's actually understated how good they kind of actually came into the sport because
Yeah.
they came in 03. They won their first title in 07, so that's only 4 years after. Then they kind of...
It's unheard of.
Then
these
they
days, isn't it?
really fell off a cliff
They
and
fell
didn't
off
win
the
until
cliff.
2016.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that early years, if they kept that momentum up, it could have been different because they really came in charging and I don't know how the hell they did it, and that made a bike quick. I remember
What race did they win that year?
Barcelona with Loris Capirossi.
No way.
I remember a journo was talking about because Ducati had all this power and what the early years of the 4-strokes would do. They would still have like silencers through the exhaust, which would obviously restrict it. Where Ducati just made them breathe, and they were so much louder than everything else. And then Honda and everyone copied Ducati.
And followed suit.
Yeah, because and you know And even the 2-strokes era, it was loud, but it's not like how it is now. You hear those Hondas, like when Marquez was riding them, they used to scream, remember?
Wild sounding bikes.
Oh, it's like something that you experience when you go down the island as well. When you hear the different sounds of the bikes.
Yeah.
You can hear what's coming.
Yeah, there's nothing
definitely.
better than walking up that main entrance and you hear like the Moto3 first practice.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, like holding it off.
Remember,
the front
and
straight.
remember you used to hear the 2-strokes as well? You
Yeah,
smell the 2-stroke.
the 2-stroke. Yeah.
That was good. But it's so good. You can hear the they probably all sound the same because they're all fucking V4s these
they
days.
all sound pretty similar. But
Yamahas will be different this year anyway.
back in the days, you could hear them.
The Honda, that was a V4. That used to scream, but that was pretty that was different. Anyway, going on a bit of a tangent about
Good
how
old-
bike sounds.
Good old days. How's Joanne Mir demanding an apology from
Oh, really?
Alex Marquez about rear-ending him?
Poor one year, bro. Dude can't catch a break.
Yeah,
Right.
but
I don't
he
think
puts
it-
himself in the situation.
Yeah, it
but
wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think
Yeah.
he still would have lost the
Nah,
bike
he
anyway.
crashed on a sprint. Like,
just
that was
give up.
standard.
Retire. Let some like kid wreck his career on that bike.
Let someone else fuck it up.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine saying that about Juan Mir a couple of years ago, though. Like,
He got handed that championship, bro. Fucking hell. Handed. Asterisks. Like
he's
Richmond's premiership.
Shut the fuck up. He's such a talent.
Well,
He's
we know
such a
this.
talent. I know,
Moto3
we've
with the
talked about
brakes and
this.
Honda. I know all that, but yeah.
It just sucks, man. It sucks. You know, Luca Marini, I don't care, but Juan Mir.
Well, yeah, it's
He's fucked Luca Marini. He's on 5 points. He's not doing anything.
Oliveira. Where's he sitting in the championship? Because I was thinking about this. You said he was going to finish in the bottom 5, correct? Which would be fucking hard.
You gotta take out the wild card. You getting it up,
Yeah.
Daniel? Yeah, you got to take out the wild cards because Luca Marini's losing to Danny Pedrosa.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know,
They're equal points.
Who?
7 each. He's losing to Paul Espargaro though, Luca Marini.
No way.
Miguel Oliveira's 14th in the championship.
How many points?
71.
Oh, come on, Jim.
He's ahead of Jack Miller, Raul
He's
Fernandez.
ahead of Jack Miller. The star, Jack Miller.
You know, not a bad call by myself, but I reckon.
He's done a lot shitter than I thought he was going to do, that's for sure. I thought he was going to have a great year. And he's got no excuses. He's on the brand new Aprilia, which is, I don't know how much of a bucket of bolts it actually is, but it sounds like it's pretty shitty.
Well, Maverick Vinales still won on it.
And you expect Aleix Espargaro after a retirement call to ease off a bit. Like, he's not going to take the same risk as he was, you know, when he was, I suppose, younger and fighting for wins. And, you know, when you've made the retirement call, you're obviously going to take it that 1% less, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So,
He's
all
just
right.
riding off into the sunset.
We got a lot to talk about Moto 2. I'm very excited.
How good was this, boys? This was this was a good one to watch.
A great one to watch.
We got results.
Yeah, results.
Daniel
do.
Brisciali.
Shortened race, it was. And pod favourite, good friend of the pod, Manu Gonzalez.
Yes,
First win.
Manu, congratulations, mate.
That was awesome.
What a legend. That was awesome.
Iagura and Philip Salach round out the top 3. Jeremy Alcoba, Zonta Vanden Gulberg,
Ooh, good pronunciation.
Javier Tigas, Celestino Vietti, Diego Moreira, Alonso Lopez, and Ivan Guevara.
Crazy race.
Is that a career best in Moto 2 for Guevara? I'd be up there. So I'm guessing.
I think he might have had a little bit of a better.
Yeah, okay. He was looking
But,
good
yeah.
until it rains, and after. How crazy is that? The lights went out, and like 2 corners later, it was bucketing down. Well, it was raining, I should say. It
Bro,
wasn't pissing down.
just to paint the picture, Gura winning the championship by 63 points.
Yeah, leading.
He puts the
Bro.
slick tyres on.
I was like, what a donkey.
What a donkey.
Seriously.
What the hell? What a decision. What a risk taker. I mean, doesn't need to do it.
Doesn't need to do it.
So Japanese of him to do it. But what a decision. What a tough call. Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. And almost my performance of the week.
Yeah.
We'll get on the next performance of the week. But for him to do that, and they always say you follow the local man. You know, you
Yeah.
got to follow the locals. That's why
knew.
Martin shouldn't have pitted when Bagnaia was
was
out
a
front.
stupid-
You're back
yeah.
and say you got to follow the
Yeah,
locals.
you know the locals.
And he was a smart, and he didn't look like he made the right decision. And then, wow.
It was like 4 laps afterwards, you know, his tyres finally heated up, and he was
Started
him
working.
and Manny Gonzalez were riding around
Man,
the outside.
Manny
of
Gonzalez-
everything.
They were taking the piss out of people.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone carve through a field like Manu Gonzalez did. Like, that was the passes that he was making were insane.
Yeah.
And then Jake Dixon pitted with 6 laps to go and got lapped.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
I saw Joe Roberts do that.
Sorry, Joe Roberts. It was
Yeah.
not Jake Dixon. Sorry, Joe Roberts. But I'm surprised not more people just took the risk. I mean, there's so many that you don't have much to lose. You know,
Tyre gambles never pay off. This is one of the
right.
only times I've ever seen it pay off.
that Iagura, man, chapeau. That was insane.
Yeah, him and Manny, seriously.
Yeah, and Manny Gonzalez.
Well, he ended up winning.
Deserved. He's how many fifth places he had? 4th place, a couple of second places. Good on him. Such a good win.
And what an exciting race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was great
And
to
Philip
watch.
Salach tearing up on the podium. That was actually emotional.
He had a great weekend too.
Yeah.
He was quick all weekend.
He's like,
It's well deserved for him as well.
season didn't, come out how he wanted. He's had some injuries, but
Yep.
to do that was nice.
It was the biggest 1st to 5th gap in Moto2 history, they said. Oh, sorry, first to 6 or something.
Yeah.
Wherever the first
14 seconds, 14.7 seconds behind
Yep.
to 5th. Zonta.
No, sorry, first to whoever was the first, the last on the wet tyres, 35 seconds or something.
Oh,
it
okay,
was.
Chevy RT
Yeah,
guys.
they said it was the biggest gap ever.
Yeah, wow.
That's
So
wild,
it
man.
doesn't make sense, though.
But there you go, Manu Gonzalez proving
Yeah.
that the super sport jump can work.
Yeah,
point.
it's awesome.
Well,
Yeah, he's
I
doing really good.
We've actually got
really
a
is.
signed knee slider behind the camera for Manu Gonzalez.
We
So
do. He had a great chat with us
Yeah,
last
such
year.
a nice guy. And he was helping the team pack up, remember?
Yep.
yeah, it's a
That's
little
a
thing.
shit people don't see, though.
It's
He
a
was
little
on the
thing you
pallet jack.
notice. He's on a new team, Grassini, Cato's son waving the flag.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that
was
was
an
nice.
awesome
a magical
thing to
moment.
see.
Magical moment. So
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Good racing. Boys, Furman Aldeguer.
Yeah, what's going on?
Seriously.
yeah,
We've had Hector Falble comment, he's going to come back. Just watch. Sorry, Hector. We're still waiting.
Well, we are.
Like, what's going on? What are you, like,
yeah.
are we flogging a dead horse here? Or
I
Yeah,
think
it
so.
seems like it.
Like,
But,
I can't see him beating
Alonso Lopez.
when he's on, he's so quick, but it's just non-existent anymore.
when's he been on this year?
yeah,
But
yeah, like
Don't remember
Jerez or
one.
some shit.
Well, Barcelona, then he crashed in the penalty loop. Was that
Jerez, he dominated,
Jerez? He dominated, yeah.
but that's 8 months ago now.
But it just
Fuck.
proves that how it's all in here, isn't it?
100%.
Like, fuck. I just can't
I
believe
just don't. You know what it is? Though? I don't even blame him. Like I don't get. We wouldn't be talking about him.
Too
like
much pressure,
this.
you reckon? Too much
yeah,
pressure?
we wouldn't be talking about this if it didn't get signed before the season. That's the issue.
I think you need to, as a young kid as well, you have to keep yourself on the toes. And if you had a contract before the even season start,
I think that fucks him mentally, man.
I think it does as well.
yeah, it's definitely got a big factor. But fuck, wouldn't you want to prove to the people like you deserve that contract, not just plot around
Yeah.
at the back of the
But
grid?
there's something going on. Like,
like
is he just not getting used to the Pirelli tires?
Don't know.
That
He
has to be a
can't-
factor.
Didn't he come out in testing and start blitzing lap records on those tires?
Maybe.
Maverick Vinales style.
Yeah, maybe he's drinking the same water.
Yeah, now he blamed it on his Machina suit, going, "Oh, it's not aerodynamic enough," so he switched
That's
to
crazy.
Dainese.
That's crazy.
Like, where do you
Oh
pull
man,
that
that's when you
from?
know you're fucked in the head. That's
Yeah.
like Juan Mir at the moment, like standard, just
It's just
looking for
wild, man,
excuses,
like-
sort of thing.
I really don't get it. I really don't.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of eyes are going to be on him when he's riding that Ducati, though. Because if he's lapping around, 17th, they ain't going to cut it on a Ducati.
way. And he's signed 2 years at Ducati, not just Grassini. Like,
Yeah,
Imagine if he
That's
just
a
goes out
Ducati
and blitzes
contract.
everyone, but fuck.
no, he won't, bro.
I
No
don't think
way.
he will. He'd be lucky to come close to rookie.
The
of the year.
Marquezes of the world, the Acostas of the world, these like
Yeah,
once in
they're
every
not gonna do
10-year
that.
talents. He's not one of
It's
them.
just
Yeah.
the Alonso Lopez effect.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same
exactly
thing.
that. Exactly that.
You can't trust these flyways. You can't. It can win you a championship if you're Martin or Pecco, but you can't trust
You
them.
can't trust them to judge someone's
Yeah.
potential. I don't think
It's too hard.
if they've not shown anything throughout the start of the year.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
only thing is, it sometimes can be a good equalizer because a lot of them haven't ridden there before. But, then you go back to fucking Le Mans or Barcelona and you crash in the long lap loop. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Don't get it.
I don't think it's right. And like I said, I don't think he will even come close to rookie of the year next year.
So Iagura really has to probably finish in the top 3, I think, to win the championship.
I think he can sew it up at the island, so we
Yeah.
might be in for a pretty spectacular celebration.
I might
hopefully.
Bit of sake with him on Sunday night.
I might pack a little Japanese flag down my pants or something, rip it out if he wins. So
Get the headband happening.
Oh, true.
that's probably like you could get cancelled if you do that these days.
You wouldn't want to be flying a
Nah,
plane with that
Gonzalez did
headband.
it on the grid.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he had it on before.
Oh,
the
I
race
saw that.
start.
That was cool. Yeah. But no, if it, like
That'd be awesome. I love seeing a championship
Yeah.
wrapped
so
up.
Iger is
I hope he
racing for
wins it.
Trackhouse next year.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a great move.
Smartest
it's shown now.
move, man.
Yeah.
Didn't succumb to that stupid.
His career would be over. His
Idemitsu
career would be
thing.
over if he went to Honda 2 years ago. Think of that. He'd be back in super sport. That's what he'd
It's
be.
smart.
Or
He's
in a
very
hospital
smart.
bed still.
Or a hospital bed, or like, yeah, Jesus, something. ASBK.
Well, you know, maybe
Go on,
he
Shia.
maybe
No
he,
Hondas there.
maybe he knocked some sense into him after he crashed in Sepang and said, "Nah, this ain't me,"
Oh, still
and then
the
broke
most.
his leg.
Yeah, I was that whole
never
Sepang
forget.
thing. The whole Sepang thing. I was thinking that was going to happen at Motegi on the weekend.
Yeah,
It was the same. Like
I was like salivating like just for the pod. I was like a rabid dog.
I was hoping he'd stay on the bike, and he did really well.
Nah, I'm rooting for him to win the title and to do really well.
They
in
said
the
there was no
GP.
rain on the radar. Do you know that? They said no rain on the radar when that rain started.
But
And
it's
then
up in
it's
the
like Melbourne,
mountains.
but-
Yeah.
Oh, and then everyone, by 5 riders, put slicks on.
Yeah, that's
It
cool.
It was great decision, crazy. I still can't believe it. One of the best decisions of this year.
If
from
not the
from a
best.
bike ride. Yeah, if not the best.
Him
Yeah.
and Manu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually giving more praise. This is how fucked we are right now. We're giving more praise to Iagura because
He took the risk.
because like we know like they normally can't do that
Yeah,
make
yeah,
that decision.
It's true.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Like really, realistically, we should be giving it to Manu because he dominated.
It's
He
normally
did.
such a conservative culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just didn't do it. That's why I'm so impressed. That's
Yeah.
why we're so impressed. So.
But it's also not a Japanese team. I don't.
Oh, that's
Nah.
oh no, it would MT helmets. No, they're
Nah,
Spanish.
it's Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
so
that's-
it's not.
that
That
explains
helps
it.
too.
'Cause
If he had been at Idemitsu still,
Oh yeah.
see you later.
Yeah,
he would have
yeah.
been at the back of the pack, waving to the crowd.
Yeah, Chantra's
some-
still got his leg up in the hospital bed. Got a bit of hate for those comments. Scandalous.
Someone,
Dare.
Yeah, I dare ya.
someone,
Kick us out.
oh my god.
But his skinny legs.
Some put some put slick fronts and wet rears on. I don't know who that was.
Can
but
you do
like,
that?
Oh, that's what they were saying on the commentary. Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
But I don't think that helped. It was all the rear, like this. You needed that rear grip.
Well, once you
Yeah,
got
you need grip
once you got a
everywhere.
wet tire and it's drying when it's cooked no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah, it just
It
overheats.
wrecks it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes 3 laps and 2 laps in the dry. As I say, it just disintegrates.
Well, remember that Superbike round where Spinelli won and Toprak and I can't remember if it was Bautista, whoever that finished third, they were on slicks and how quickly they were cutting that gap. And if it wasn't for the red flag,
Yes.
they would have passed him. And
Yes.
you know what I mean? They were
Yeah.
gaining what 2, 3 more, 3, 4 seconds a
Yeah.
lap.
It's all like braking as well. Like you could see Iagura braking so much later with the slick tires. Like
Oh, of course.
you think
Yeah,
it's
and
more
get
around the corners, but he was braking like 50 meters later. It was
And get on the
crazy.
power so much.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's just
right.
riding when you're riding around the outside
outside.
of someone.
Yeah.
With ease.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. It's mental. It sort of reminded me of Austria when Binder stayed out and
Yeah.
the boys all went in for wets and Pecco and Martin were carving through everyone
Yeah.
and almost ran up the back of a
Yeah,
few riders.
yeah, it
and
was, like,
stuff,
dangerous.
it can be a little bit dangerous.
You know what? They're all late on the red flag when it was raining in Japan. I noticed that. I was yelling at the TV saying, like, why isn't it red flags?
Yeah.
But it took like half a lap.
Yeah. So it's a hard one because you sort of want to let him race, but then like
I was waiting for someone. Someone almost did. I think it was Arbolino or Canet almost launched himself into the moon.
Arbolino looked good the first few laps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
he
the
was
wet
doing
tires,
well.
you can tell these riders who got these raw talent when it comes to it. But then obviously they just overheated the tires and in back he went. But he makes a couple of really good moves, and I actually had in my notes Arbolino looked good, but then he did nothing for the rest of the race.
Just
so
fell away.
He's
we'll
one
keep-
of our pod favourites, Tiger Tony.
He is, yeah. He's really grown on me. Really, really have. And his interview, as I said last week, yeah, very impressed. We'll be catching up with him next couple of weeks.
G'day, Tiger.
Okay, Tigers.
That's it for Moto2, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moto 3. Jimmy, take it away. Performance of the week.
MJ performance of the week has to be.
Is he still paying us? Is he still paying us?
It's just like on
Raul
retainer.
Fernandez.
Yeah. Our Motorsport Republica performance of the week is Ivan Atola. David Alonso.
Man,
Yeah,
crazy.
congratulations.
Yeah,
What
congratulations.
What a season, man. Unbelievable.
It's domination, isn't it? Like, and probably since Acosta, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, man, even then, like, it was...
Yeah.
This was pretty wild what he's done, you know. Most wins in the class now at 14. Yeah, 14 after this week. He
Yeah.
matched Fanardi last week on 13. He's at 14, 9 for the season.
Crazy.
This is absolutely bonkers, man. Like, and so clinical in that race.
I know, like,
Like-
didn't even have to win it, and he wins it.
I know. I was sort of like hoping he would go into the next weekend
Yeah.
for Phillip Island, but good on him.
Dropping back to 7th and then just carving through, and
And
he's really a cut above everyone.
He is. And apparently he's so humble. And his interview was great. He's like, I looked at myself in the mirror the night before, and I was like, I think he said he started crying.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to tell myself I'm going to win. This is like in Parc Ferme. And then, he went out and won in, hard conditions.
Yeah.
It was, he's amazing.
And that pocket bike celebration.
That
at the
was
end.
celebration was
unbelievable.
awesome.
That was really cool.
Peko Bagnai sort of,
Take notes.
Take notes.
Not a 3-point dunk,
No,
please, next
no,
time.
like that's going back to your roots. That's his first
That was
bike.
great
he
idea.
started.
I
Great
know.
idea.
Like that's such a good idea. And
And they
Yeah.
had the little TV thing. He watched it. It was awesome. They did
Yeah.
it so well.
he's
God,
going to be a
good. I love him.
star, like a
Yeah.
star. And in Colombia, it's like, there's no
Yeah.
real thing. He's got nowhere to compare to. There's no.
There'll be a lot of Colombians at Tommy. Philip. Hey, ready?
They're fogging up already.
Jeez, they are. Just to give
Won't need the blue pills this week, innit? You know what I'm saying, boys?
I don't need them anymore, bro. I told you about that.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes later.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Colombia. It's such a great sporting nation. Like, and we watched the Tour de France.
Weirdly enough, they're really good at motorbike riding and cycling.
yeah, they are. They're
Well, they
like,
do go hand in hand.
Yeah, true.
well, they've got like the big hills in Colombia as well. So, but that's
Yeah,
awesome.
protein powder's good there.
Don't know about the baby goat though. Not a huge
Nah, I
fan.
love that.
No, I
love
like it,
that.
man.
What
I
are you
like
talking
it.
about?
Goat's been
Shit
thrown.
call.
It gets thrown around too much these days. Goat, like he's
Yeah,
not.
but baby goat.
I don't know. He's not the greatest of all time. Like I'm not going to say he's the greatest of all time yet. Like he's a Moto3 rider.
Yeah, he's baby goat in Moto 3.
Moto 3, that's
yeah,
right.
I don't know.
Stats show that he is in Moto 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. Not a huge fan of
that's
that.
That's a like Tom livery call right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what
I
that
might
is.
get
Yeah.
some comment. Only if it's positive.
I'll delete
it otherwise.
If you've commented before and it's been deleted,
It's Tommy.
Yeah. Be on my side. But yeah, I mean, going back to it, like just unbelievable. And him Moto2 next year, can he in his first year win races? Can he do it?
Marquez came out and said, you got to relax on putting so much pressure on him because
Yeah.
he hasn't raced a Moto 2 bike yet. And that's good advice as well. And
Yeah.
good to come out and say that.
But in the recent years, the first season of Moto2 that hasn't really correlated into really good results. Like Sergio Garcia's had a pretty good year, but
Pedro had a pretty good year, but he wrecked
Pedro
himself
did,
and broke
yeah.
his femur.
But who's won a Moto3 and a Moto2 title two years in a row? I think the only one's Brad Binder, maybe? No.
I don't think anyone
I don't
has.
think anyone has.
So Valentino Rossi, Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez didn't even, did he?
He should have won it, but then he ran up the arse of old mate,
Phillip
fucked his
Island.
eye.
Yeah.
He was the closest, but Rossi
Rossi.
won races but didn't win his first year in 250s.
Didn't he?
He won the second year. He got second.
That's right.
So who's done it?
No
Anyone? Jorge Lorenzo, Danny Pedrosa.
No.
Jeez, I
I don't think so.
I didn't know that.
If anyone, it might be Lorenzo, but I don't think so. I think Lorenzo, he went back to back and so did Pedrosa, but I reckon all 3 years in that class.
See, this is
I could be wrong.
what I think. When I think of the greats, I think Marquez, Rossi, these guys. I think to myself, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP, bang, 3 years and they're in.
You know what it is though? I've seen these stats before, and Marquez and Rossi are the same. They'll win their 125 or Moto 3 race,
Yep.
or championship. The next year they'll be second in the
Yes.
middleweight class.
Yeah.
Then they'll win it,
And then
Yeah.
they'll go in.
and then they'll go in and either I
Yeah.
think Rossi got second and won it, and obviously
Yeah.
Marquez won it. So
yeah.
that's different. And then Pedrosa and Lorenzo are a little bit different. They went back to back. Both had that #1 plate.
Correct.
Good looking bike. That Espana red Lorenzo.
The Lorenzo one, the RS.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
that-
What bike's he on next year?
He's on Jake Dixon's bike.
He's on the
Okay,
CF
so
Moto.
it's a very competitive bike. So there's no. I mean,
same
Yeah,
team.
it's a race winning bike.
it's a race winning bike. There is a big excuse that he is a first year rider on that bike. But in saying that,
If he comes out and wins races, multiple races, then we're on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're going to be on anyway.
I'm so excited. That's almost one of the most excited things I am for next year.
Me
is
too.
seeing how it
Moto2
goes in
or
Moto
him?
2. Both.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be awesome
But
to see him up
his
there.
training partners, like he's training with Marquez and all these guys, like the guidance the kid has.
I was going to say, if you got anyone to lean on at the moment, he's the man, isn't he? He still is.
Yeah.
And he's, like you mentioned before, he's going to give the best advice about being calm going into a championship.
And I kind of just love a non-European coming in.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
good.
really
It's-
exciting.
it's,
good for the
it's
sport.
refreshing.
Great
Yeah.
for the sport.
Great for the sport.
Yeah, great for the sport. I mean, have we had a Colombian motorcycle race winner before? I know we haven't had a world
Oh,
championship.
come on, cheers, Johnny Hernandez.
Not a race winner.
You used to love him.
I used
back
to
in the
love
day.
Johnny, yeah. And then he got at Austria, he got hit. Remember the?
Did he?
Oh, bro, he got decapitated. he flung over his bike and then someone hit him. Oh fuck it. We might clip that crash. Yeah, that was terrible.
No, I don't think we are going to do that.
We'll be really banned from YouTube if that happens. I've been watching the WWE
Here we go.
rewatches, and they censor like the chair hits on YouTube now.
Yeah, it's so annoying. And they
go black and white when it's
fucking
blood.
Bullshit PG shit.
But yeah.
You got to watch it on binge.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been watching all the old pay-per-views on binge.
Yeah, fuck, it's good.
Kurt
No,
Angle.
get it on Netflix. They'll be going that soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
when is that
yeah.
next year, Curdy?
Maybe, I think.
I think it's the start of next year. The contract.
Well, I didn't
from
realize
Netflix.
how big WWE is still now.
but
It's
it's
the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah, it's crazy.
boomed, man.
And all
It's
kids
wild.
watch it. Heaps of young kids watch it. I'm like, that's like no brainer they did that. Like they went to a.
Weren't they saying in the Vince McMahon doco or one of the docos I watched that the Heat was its biggest in the Attitude Era?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just more like they just make more money off like memorabilia.
Yeah,
and shit
the
than-
45-year-old's not going to spend as much as like the mum buying the kid.
And I don't
heaps of
think
stuff
there's
and
many
stuff
like
that.
mid-20 guys watching it as when there
No.
wasn't
Nah.
like the late 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s. When now it's like
Different
John
though.
Cena.
Giacchino.
John Cena. Santino Morello. And he goes, I don't know, John Cena.
Oh goodness.
Well, that
old
was
days.
the World Wrestling Republica pod.
Yeah, it was.
I was just saying, I wish it was socially acceptable for me to walk around with a WWE Championship belt because I would.
Yeah.
That's it is, but
I wish
You
I
can
knew.
get the pod mics on either side on the plates.
Wait, we
and
need to
number
get our
podcast
own
in the
one.
world.
We need to get our own.
Well,
one.
the winner of fan of what do we call our top fan?
Number one ticket
Number
holder.
one ticket.
Ticket
But
holder.
maybe we'll get them a Republica belt. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's a cool prize.
Yeah, probably not.
I've seen a
Too
few of the
expensive.
prices, but I've looked into it.
Puts a dent in the bank
Bro,
account, mate.
Timu.
Don't tell them that, but
Timu.
cat's out of the bag. We're fucked.
Timu.
Oh goodness.
Boys, shout out should as well be our performance of the week to Australia in the Motocross of Nations.
Bro.
Jet Lawrence, Hunter
Yeah.
Lawrence, and Kyle Webster on taking it out first. United States second, big surprise, and the Dutch
Yeah.
third.
Big
Good
news.
racing.
Big news.
Amazing racing. I was up last night watching it. It's so exciting in Matterley Basin in Great Britain, in England.
That
So
looks like a cool track. That
great track. Yeah.
shocking conditions,
Yeah,
but
standard palms. I don't know how they live over there.
Did that help
Seriously.
Australia? The rough conditions. They're used to riding a bit of rain and.
Well, they race like the Lawrence obviously race in America, which is not,
Yeah.
but they have raced in Europe, I guess, so they'd be used to it. But the Americans did well; they got second. So the track for the first race was dialed in. I missed the last one, so but it would have got right into the shit. But
oh
they
man,
did.
that was bad.
Yeah, there you go. But Jet won, I think, race 2.
Yep.
Just got pipped in the third race by Tim. Guys, the Euros are so quick.
The passing.
Eli did awesome for the America.
Got the whole
Tomac.
shot in race 3, I think it was.
Yeah, so it was. The Motocross of Nations is bucket list thing to do, and probably my favorite motorsport event just about of the year. I love Motocross of Nations. Representing what motorsport do you represent your country in a team? Like, you know how
true.
cool that is?
Very rare. Very
And then
rare.
for the
pretty
Aussies to
amazing.
win it, obviously we're biased.
Yeah.
But we've never won it. Third, second, as you were saying,
Yeah.
Daniel, and then the Lawrence boys to take it out. Oh, it's so cool to see.
They're
And
weapons, aren't they,
They're
man?
weapons. They're animals. They're so fast. And to go up against the best in the world, the MXGP boys, and all the Euros and the Americans, it's impressive. And to
Absolutely.
take it out, hats off.
Hats off. Yeah.
You
Well
know,
done.
It's really
That's
cool.
amazing.
MXGP is coming to Darwin next year. We're 100%
Yeah,
going.
we're gonna be there.
We're going to be
That's gonna be
going to
amazing
that.
too.
That's going to be fun. So, and it would be really cool if the Aussies won, that they do a Des Nations in Australia. Imagine that. The scenes there are nuts.
I'd go wild here.
Yeah. In Europe, they're another level.
Yeah.
But, it's so
Different ball
cool. It is. They're just so much more passionate. But good on them, man. It's awesome.
Close to performance of the week.
Yeah, I know. It's equal. Let's be honest. It's equal. It's a pretty fucking good thing.
Yep.
Awesome to watch. Look it up. You haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
And also shout out, sorry Tommy, Tony Bow. This is a bit of an obscure one. If you don't know him, he's a trials rider. I think he's a Spanish trials rider. Won world championship on the weekends. Title number 36. Title number 36.
Nuts,
if you want to say GOAT, he's a GOAT.
Yeah. There's no argument on that one.
He's on the Repsol, yeah.
He's on the Repsol. He's been on it since I was 5 years old, I reckon.
So what do you...
Trials, you know when they like hop on upper box and everything on those trials bikes?
Yeah, that's intense.
Those dudes are so
ride.
skillful.
Yeah. The balance it'd be insane on those things.
Yeah, clutch control.
No seat, is there? There's no seat.
Nah. And they really let down the tires.
Yep.
A lot of the hard enduro guys that are really good.
So would
all
that
come
make
from trials.
so he's almost probably 50.
He must be something.
36. Yeah. So he had to would have started when he was like 15 maybe, and he's what 50 then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck, imagine,
He's been going on that same Repsol bike
Yeah, for donkeys years.
forever. How long,
Yeah.
I can't remember a time when he hasn't been doing that.
crazy.
And I don't follow trials, but I saw that because one me commented on his post saying, nice number, 36.
Seamus in the gravel every weekend, champ.
He gets champed.
Champ.
But I don't know, that's... poor guy, 36-time world champion, doesn't even make it onto a performance of the week. Get the 40
Never
champ.
heard of him. Get to 40 and I'll look at you.
We'll consider it.
Oh,
He's the only one keeping Repsol afloat.
Yeah, that's true. Just before we jump on to hot takes as well, bit of news out of the ASBK this weekend. Great friend, first special guest actually, and I guess trailblazer for Motorsport Republica.
First, shout out because he was the first person to actually give us the time of day.
Yeah, 100%. Brian Starring.
Yeah, Brian Starring. Congratulations, mate, on an absolutely phenomenal career, being lucky enough to race all over the world and just being an all-round great dude. And we're sure that everything you do hereafter will be amazing. You'll succeed no matter what.
Yep.
So thank you for all the memories. And yeah, like the boy said, most of all, thanks for giving us the time and, being our first special guest and really a catalyst for where we are today.
100%.
He'll always be remembered as our first special guest.
Yeah, 100%.
And always asks us how it's going. He's a really
Been a great
good dude.
support. Yeah, been a great support. And good luck to everything in the future. Whatever you do, whatever he decides to do.
I'm sure we'll see him around the paddock and we'll... I reckon we're a sneaky chance of getting him on for a round 2 now that he's out of there.
Oh, we might get some, some little secrets.
Some good stories.
Well, we got some great ones pre and post pod.
Yeah, we did.
James
That's
and I.
right.
And,
that was crazy. That was our first special guest, and it was obviously just Daniel and I. Where were you? You were somewhere.
I was in Bali, I think.
yeah.
And we were talking to a MotoGP rider at a cafe.
We couldn't believe
and
it.
we were just like, this is crazy. And we had 800 followers or something, and we've made it. We're big time.
Yeah.
And he's telling us stories. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's in my car. I need to ridden the MotoGP bike. This is nuts.
Yeah.
And we're just talking to him like an average human. It was the weirdest thing ever. We were just looking at each other like, this is crazy.
I know.
What are we doing here? Yeah, we prepped so hard for it. We had all these notes
Run
and everything.
sheets,
Run
sent to him,
sheets.
got it cleared by him.
And then we went into this random dude's studio. Shout out Ben at Beat Tank Studios in Montmorency. Helped us out. And I was like,
it was our biggest thing, man.
It was crazy.
I remember it was just crazy. We got him. We booked the studio. That feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's over a year ago now.
I remember making the phone call at work, so nervous. I'm like, hey, bro, we coming to podcast?
Now they're coming up to us, Brishy.
Yeah, that's it.
People want to come on.
Turn them away.
How about turn people away?
I know,
Not
we
good
have.
enough, bruh.
We have.
Get the 40 world titles and then we'll think about it.
That's it. But yeah, once again, congrats, man. And thank you for everything, and we wish you all the best.
100%.
Beautiful.
Well said.
All right, world famous hot takes by T Shav this week.
Nice.
Let's get. There's a lot of there's a heap. There's still a lot to talk about, but I had to cut a few out. But it is just crazy. Every week it's getting better and better. All right, Jack Giles, number 1 contender. I think the Japanese will come back, and the Ducati downfall is going to come sooner than we think.
Nah,
God, I can't see it
I
anytime
don't think
soon.
that's going to happen.
There's only a window of that happening in the new regs, but if
Is it that much of a change the new regs though?
Well,
Is
and
like
the
is it big
engine,
enough?
the
800
motor,
cc.
The motor, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so.
No, I don't
Like a lot of people think it is, but I think they're just going to dominate.
Yeah.
Cheprin _Parker
Excuse me?
090. The lack of electronics on the BSB bikes makes them more physical to ride than MotoGP bikes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Be the same as Aussie Supers and World Supers.
So they got anti-wheelie and
Yeah.
They'll have little bits of stuff like that. And you got to remember too, like a lot of them are funded teams by a local garage or, a local importer of the goods. So
yeah.
it's not like they're getting big money computers and electronic systems and packages put into them.
Remember, Daniel, for work, we went to that, I don't know if it was for work, but we went to that Porsche event, that Ducati event in Brighton or whatever. And Ben Henry, the owner of, I think, Ducati, one of the Ducati teams, he talked us through a lap between a superbike and a MotoGP bike around Phillip Island. And you could see how a MotoGP bike can obviously brake later, but then stand up so much earlier. So like the Ducati V4 superbike would run out into the ripple strip, where the MotoGP bike's nowhere near the ripple strip.
That's right.
Because it's so much more, I guess, stiffer. They can just like hook up, and where a superbike, as Damo says, it's so much softer. It's not gonna handle obviously as well. That's why,
And speaking to all those guys, Chris, Damo, Brian, anyone we've spoken to in the paddock that's been on both, even Mike, they all say the exact same thing. And there's actually a good video on Gypsy Tales when he speaks to Ben Spies. Ben Spies describes that difference really, really well.
Yeah, it's a really good interview.
All right.
That answered that one, mate?
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. A very Daniel question, that one. Hart Malbon, number one contender. Ducati will dominate next year even more. Sorry, let me start that again. Ducati will dominate next year, even more next year, as they'll not want to end this era like Merck in F1. So they're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. That's what Hart Malbon is talking about?
Well, that's all up to Jorge Martin and Aprilia, because if
anyone's going to stop them.
Correct.
Maybe Pedro Acosta, maybe, but you've got Bagnaia and Marc Marquez on the factory Ducatis. I still can't see them losing.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough ask.
Pedro's second year on the bike. That's going to be really interesting.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
The biggest enemy will be Ducati themselves between Marquez
and
Bagnaia.
good point.
Yeah.
It'll be who wants that number one spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Curdy? We never asked your opinion. Give us your opinion.
Oh, Ducati will stay at top.
Yeah.
I think
How many more years?
Probably till 2027 when they do the engine regulations, and we'll see what the fuck happens there.
That's a good call. I agree with that. Thanks, Curdy.
Curdy's actually the smartest one out of all of us.
He's got the IQ is just off the scale. All right, Tom F145. Joel Kelso will take the dub at Phillip Island. It's up there. It's possible. I think you got a little Colombian man who's probably going to deny him.
It's going to hurt.
But if there's mixed conditions again, I mean, he showed how good he was last year.
Well,
and how good would that be? That'd be fucking amazing.
I love to see the Aussie boys up
Yeah.
there. Was it the 2-week forecast though? Not looking good so far.
No, 2-week forecast from Damiano Garipoli. He's got the updated app with the weather and raining all week.
Has he got an updated pizza oven?
I saw him on Sunday because I went over to his house and he was still.
He's laughing. He's laughing about it, but he's died inside.
It was red.
Inside.
I could see the veins on his forehead. It was red. Speaking of Italian shit,
Ciao,
what does
Demo.
maffangulo mean? 'Cause he kept saying it over and over again. Italians are like,
Rusty Ross. Great name. Anaya Bastianini will outscore Maverick Vinales in every single race in 2025 that both finish.
Yeah, I
that's a
agree
fair
with that.
shout.
That's paying $1.01.
It's
That's not even a hot take. That's a lukewarm take.
Yeah. That's just straight out fact.
So Vinales' last year in MotoGP next
Is he
year.
only a 1 yearer?
I think so.
Who's gonna if he does nothing next year? Who wants to pick him up? You got to put a kid in.
Bro, Jack Miller's still in MotoGP.
Yeah, but he's only got a year as well.
Yeah, crazy. Rusty Ross again. Didier will be very close in the title fight with Pecco and Mark in 2025. Oh.
No, don't see it happening. I think he's.
Is he injured though?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he's actually going in on Wednesday for to make a decision about whether he's going to have a surgery, I think, on the shoulder or not. So that
That's
could
Right, yeah.
that could potentially rule him out for the rest of the year.
What
Like
do you
Marquez
go?
Marquez
ahead.
style.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, I'd probably have him penciled in for a top 5 in the
Yeah,
championship.
yeah.
I think he'll do really well.
If he's fully fit for sure.
So what bike's he on next year? He's
GP25.
GP25 with VR46.
Yeah, 46.
Okay. Yep. God, I'm just.
He's on the 3rd factory.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
And who's on the 4th? But there's no 4th factory. It's just
Morbidelli.
Morbidelli, but he gets a 24.
Because he gets the free ride because of the La Familia.
Yeah. The loyalty. Loyalty. Brad Binder. Oh, sorry. It's called Papa. Number 1 contender, probably top of the list. Brad Binder has the most beautiful riding style currently MotoGP.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's beautiful at all, Papa. What are you talking about?
I like how he backs it into corners, but
It's awesome, but like I think like pure riding style, it's like it has to be Bagnaia. Like he's just got a
nah,
I
I'll
love
say
Fabio.
I would say Jorge Martin. I love how he hangs off the bike.
No, I love Quartararo as
Yeah,
well.
Quartararo
He's-
is beautiful.
He's amazing. But yeah, I guess Pecco's really nice to watch as
Pecco's
well.
clinical. Very like. Did he make one mistake all weekend?
I don't think so.
I can't remember him making one mistake.
Who?
Bags.
Nah, he's just so good.
Like
he's just ice cold, man.
And we seen him when he had a weekend like this
Hmm.
months and months ago. Then he just went on this glorious run where no one could touch him.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen.
So
It's a Bagnaia race, as I said, is a boring race.
Yeah.
but we won't appreciate it till years later.
Yeah, I do. Like I slowly do.
It's a cheesy effect, you know what I'm saying?
It is an ultimate cheesy effect, RIP cheeseburger. But
Yeah. Lorenzo.
Get the chopper chops out.
Yeah, get the chopper chops out. But yeah, you just got to appreciate it. But fuck, it's just so boring. He's so boring.
So who do you think as the best riding style?
Oh, Bags has got the best
So you
riding
got Bags.
style.
and
I'll go
Martin.
Martin.
All right, sweet.
Quartararo.
I like
yeah,
it when
by
they're all
far.
different.
I think Binders stands out because he's
Yeah,
so
it's
much
super
different to a lot of
aggressive.
other riders, and that's what Papa's are referring to.
Mm.
But it's still a good call. It's not really hot take, Papa, but try again next week. Neiman Clothing Company. We got businesses now on hot takes.
No
Unbelievable.
mean
Oh,
clothing.
Neiman.
Neiman Clothing Company.
They
yeah.
do the undergarments. So
Like a
it's
lo-
like a tracky looking style.
Oh,
straight
yeah.
under your jeans. Yeah.
Are they Aussie?
Yep.
Yeah,
Aussie,
nice.
Melbourne based.
Yeah, well, we're
yeah,
looking for a
they
sponsor
get-
for hot takes, mate. So
they-
get on board.
They get around us. They've been
have.
they've been
Like,
since day one.
they're
They're
OGs, yeah. We've got a
shout
bit of
out
a-
Neiman.
We've got a bit of an OG category happening here.
If you want to go to Highside, go see Phil at Highside. He'll hook you up.
Phil at Highside, yes.
He stocks their stuff.
Yeah.
Jack Kreb. What? Actually, I didn't even tick this one. What bike will Maverick? What bike will Maverick crack the shits with and hold the rev limit of Aprilia or KTM?
Probably
yeah,
both.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right. So Matt Stevens __. The Aprilia is actually a good bike. They've just got employed for four frauds.
Look, we're not going to know that to the next year, but they definitely have frauds on that motorcycle.
They do have frauds, but
All four.
I've gone off the bike completely. We touched on this a while ago, but I think it's a bike.
Maybe I don't know.
I think the
It's
bike's
so
fallen
hard.
away.
It's so hard. Well, yeah, you could be right. It's just hard to judge. I just want to see what Martin does on it. Because if he's instantly quick on it, then you know
Yeah, then
they're all donkeys.
Because there's no rule changes next year. obviously. There's no real rule change next year, is there?
Nah, it's fucking keep on sailing.
Matt Stevens again. Either Honda or Yamaha will win a race next year.
Nah.
Yamaha. If it's going to be any,
Yeah,
it'll be
it'll be
Yamaha.
Quartararo.
Quartararo. Yep.
He's the only shining light. He's single-handedly holding Japan up right now.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
holding.
with his $12 million underneath him.
Yeah, true. You can't blame him, but.
No, not at all.
Adam _Frosty_Frost. When can we see a Republica at a live crowd event?
Oh, that's a good one.
And when, if possible, interstate ?
Oh, message us who wants to see it happen. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that's a live pod would be mint. We've always talked about this. Something at Phillip Island would be amazing. You
Yeah.
have to have the right conditions and sound and stuff to make it
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
listenable. But yeah, something definitely in the works. Thanks, Adam.
Rod Laver Arena will fill it out.
Yeah, what are you doing, huh? The
Kia
forum and shit.
Arena, I'll get a discount.
Benzina stables.
Nah, too expensive.
Sorry, please.
Oh, it's premium here. Like, look at the quality.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All right, Jack Miller would have won a Moto2 championship if he didn't move to MotoGP.
Who was this?
M-Dub 93.
M-Dub 93.
Also on the contenders list.
Jack Miller would what?
Winner would have won a Moto2 championship if he didn't go straight to
Oh,
MotoGP.
jeez, who knows?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
All right, I didn't like that one.
No.
Sorry, Dubsy.
Because those Hondas were different to these Triumphs.
Yeah.
And I
would-
believe
He's
they
probably
wore
got the riding style for Moto2.
They wore tyres quicker.
He's not good at.
No, I don't think he would have lasted on that.
He would have
Honda
gone
engine.
up against like Alex Marquez, maybe
Franco,
Rins.
Zarco, I think all those guys.
Yeah.
Like that was a good crop that went
Yeah, it
through.
was
And they all won
star-studded.
championships, really.
Star-studded.
Spargro, that kind of era.
Yeah.
Espargaro.
God, you go back to those Moto2 days, then like you look at the rider list, and, like
know.
everyone's successful.
Every
like,
time we've done it, even
Yeah.
like back in 2004 or something, you go,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Who
know.
remember that guy? Yeah.
Pavrik Sigvarsson, Yamaha will be stronger than Aprilia next year. I don't know. I don't know if there's.
I don't know about that.
I don't
They
know.
haven't fallen off the cliff that bad.
No, and I think there's a lot of. I mean, like
I still think it's right about
Zarco finished ahead of the Yamahas this weekend, so there's still a lot to.
Yeah, true.
It's called Papa, all the way from sunny India. In all honesty, do you guys think Jack Miller deserved the corner named after him?
Oh, no,
No.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's cool to have it, but
I think you have to win
but
a. I
what's
think
he
you got to
done?
win a world championship. Honestly,
You got to
don't
do
you?
something. Yeah.
And replace the Honda name as well at that corner.
like Bayless doesn't even have a corner name.
Neither
after
does
him.
Troy Corsa.
Yeah.
In multiple
And they've
times.
done a lot.
You know what I mean? Chris, you could make the same argument for Chris. He won a Supersport world title.
Well, you know that year Melandri won. I didn't realize Chris finished second in that race.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Because I saw them coming over the line with the and Chris was like second and had a clear run on third as well. So I think Rossi finished third.
Best celebration of all time.
Yeah. 06, long time ago. Wow. All right. It's called Papa again. Jeez, he's been in the news, hasn't he? Who turned out to be the biggest loser, Pedrosa or Dovi?
Dovi.
Dovi for me, Papa says.
Pedrosa, almost the biggest
Yeah.
loser in hard luck.
But did Dovi get closer to a championship than Pedrosa?
I don't think so.
Dovi had less to contend. He only had one person to deal with.
Yeah.
Pedrosa had
The aliens.
3 or 4.
He had the alien.
Yeah, it's a great call.
He went up against all
He went,
like
he went up
Lorenzo.
against everyone.
Yeah.
Pedrosa went up against all the aliens.
So
And that's such a shame as well because the dude was
It would have
he
been
was too
interest-
small for the MotoGP bike.
It would have been interesting to see
And
him
the-
on a Yamaha.
just small,
Yeah.
yeah. He just couldn't handle a crash.
And another downfall why Honda should have kept him to test that bike. I can't believe they lost him. Crazy.
Crazy.
Because he's so fast.
Yeah, I
he's
know.
still scoring points now. And what have they got? Stefan Bradl. Fuck,
Curtis
Curtis.
Spargro now.
Yeah, well, they're both duds. They're fucked up.
Donkeys.
They're both donkey. I was
Good for you, James.
the
Thanks,
chicken's
man.
coming in 4 minutes, Curdy. Just be mindful.
Oh yeah, do you?
You're making the noises tonight. I'm really excited.
That's not a chicken.
I'm really not excited for this next question, and I want to get your idea on this, guys. Chris Seps, big fan of the pod.
Chris Pecco Bagnaia Seps.
Yeah, boring Bagnaia Seps, one-eyed supporter.
Standard fucking.
Why didn't they
Say it,
invite?
James. I dare you.
Nah, Chijski.
Yeah,
Say it, Wogs.
Peto's listening, bro. Relax. All right, back to Sepsi. Come on. Why didn't they invite Wayne Garner to the island? He basically set up and then won there. If anyone doesn't know, he put a big Instagram post out or Facebook post saying he was disgusted that he wasn't invited by the Australian Grand Prix Corporation, being an ex-winner and obviously helping set up the track. And he had big complaints. Does anyone know any more information, boys?
I personally don't know any more information. I believe it's wrong.
Yep.
You've got a guy that worked tirelessly to help get this thing off, and I believe won the first 2 races there that were held. So for him to get treated the way he did, look, there could be more to it that we don't know.
Yeah,
What's the go?
You
What's
don't
the
know.
go?
You
There could
don't.
be more
There's two
background
sides of the
stuff.
story. There's always 2 sides of the story. There could be something that's happened in the background. Who knows?
You know what? I
So-
guess the biggest thing would be is once we're there, we will gauge what they're trying to achieve in terms of how they're trying to run this event. If they're trying to run this event like a Formula One event and become more influencer lifestyle, sort of a bit more hip and with it, I'll understand why they got rid of someone like that. But at the end of the day, I still think it's wrong.
You just have to have his face on the screen and him in the back of the pits because it's the history of the event.
Of course.
And I think that's the way you just got to have these
But
ex-riders.
OzGP said they still want to connect with like the real roots of the fans. It was just a fine line of how they do it. It's just a balance. There's got to be. It's all that stuff. There's always two sides to the story. You have to.
100%.
There's something going on there, though.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
There's got to be more to it. But like you said, if you're taking it on face value, the guy's a 500cc world champion. He's bought essentially MotoGP here, won the first 2 races. He's done a bit for the sport. His son's won a Moto2 World Championship and is still kicking around in a world paddock.
Yeah,
Like if you look at it just from that, you think
maybe he used to. Maybe he was getting paid or something, and they don't want to pay him or something like it is. There could be money involved. Who knows?
Oh, it's got to be.
it's always the way though.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's getting 10 grand for the weekend. They think, oh, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, we'll give Republica 9.5.
Yeah. You.
That is hot takes this week, boys.
Beautiful.
All right.
So we've got a massive show coming up next week as well.
Yep.
It's going to be we're going to be down at the islands.
Yes.
It will be a Philippine pre-race
So that'll be
show.
released on Tuesday.
It'll
Will
be
be a
released,
pre-race show.
released normal time.
Yep.
It'll be released normal
So
time.
if you're traveling down to the island and you're listening to this pod, flick over to the next one because we've got a pre-race show.
That's going to be
super exciting.
huge.
It's going to be so good.
If you're there early, flick us a message.
Yeah.
Meet you at the pub.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Good call.
All right.
Love it.
Beautiful. Thanks, boys.
Cheers.
See you.
Here we go.